Hey folks, welcome back to Move Skill. Let's talk about kneeling hip bridge. All right, so a really nice tool for helping to open up hip flexors and quads, getting your hips open as much as possible. The key to this is that, well, the risk to this is if you do it wrong, there's more than a small chance of putting too much pressure on your low back. So we're going to discuss setting up properly so that you protect your low back and actually make this a useful drill. So first order of business, find a place to kneel. A lot of folks have some ankle mobility issues. If you stack your mats up a little higher so that your feet can, ankles hang over the edge, that'll take some of the pressure off the front of your shin. That might be, it's not really part of this move, but it might make it a little more comfortable. Find a position that you can kneel in. Now, the very first thing that has to happen here is glutes. You got to squeeze your glutes. So pinch your cheeks together hard and use that pressure to drive your hips forward. We're not bending backwards at all at this point. You're squeezing your cheeks together tightly and pressing hips forward hard. And you should already feel a little bit of a stretch here. And again, be careful at this point that you're not leaning backwards. I don't have too much pressure in my low back yet. Squeeze your butt. Push those hips forward, and now lift. And you're lifting your sternum. Imagine being grabbed right here by the sternum skin and just pulled up toward the ceiling. What this involves is a strong flexing of your spinal erectors and also the muscles between your shoulder blades. So you're squeezing shoulder blades together hard. And really, I just said spinal erectors, but really what you're doing is flexing muscles on your back from your neck down between your shoulder blades, down along your spine, through your glutes, hamstrings, all the way down to your knees. Knees to neck now is pulled tight. Imagine stringing a bow. I'm going to pull this bow tight. So squeeze your butt, hips forward, chest comes up, shoulder blades back. As you squeeze your shoulder blades together, your arms will externally rotate. So use that to open those shoulders up, open your chest up. Now I have a nice, strong, well-supported position. And then if you're able to, lower and come back up. The lowering action happens by flexing your knees more. You're maintaining this very tight, rigid, well-supported arch of your body, and lowering and raising by extending your knee angle, or by making your knee angle more acute. This ends up being a terrific quad strength drill, and you'll find a huge load on your quads as you lower. It's all good stuff. You want to obviously take this a little kind of small steps. So get set, squeeze your glutes, hips forward, chest up, squeeze those shoulder blades together hard, lift and open, and then only start to lower and come back up. One caution here, two cautions really. One, make sure that your glutes are the first thing you turn on and the last thing you turn off. That is going to help you, that's going to go a long way to help protecting your low back. All right, so your glutes are on tight, you're squeezing as hard as you can. First thing you do, it's the last thing you turn off. The other thing that happens routinely is folks will get way back in a deep arch. It's a scary position. There's a huge load on your quads. We're not used to being bent over this way. Hip flexors aren't very open. And folks kind of freak out. You'll get back there and then kind of panic a little and decide, oh my gosh, I got to get out of here. And the first thing you'll do is lift your head. The second thing to really pay attention to is a mistake that folks will make fairly often about how you come out of this position. What happens is you get back in this deeply extended position, big arch, way back, and it's kind of scary. We're not used to it. Hips are way open in a position you're not used to. There's a big load on the quads. It's hard to maintain enough pressure in your glutes. And so you'll get back as far as you can and then kind of freak out and decide, oh my gosh, I got to get out of here fast, and lift your head. You're in this deep extended position and you yank your head up, which is a giant mistake. When you do that, there's a high likelihood that the whole backside will turn off, and now you've just exposed your low back to a really nasty bit of force. So there's some potential risk here if you let yourself just flop over unsupported here in the low back. again, it's fairly easy to manage that risk. Just make sure your glutes are on. You've got all the muscles on your back fully engaged. Then you begin your descent, however far that goes. And as you come back out, head comes up last, and then finally your glutes turn off. So add this into your training. We'll do this as a warm-up piece. We'll do it as a recovery piece sometimes. Nice bit of extra work to really help open up your hip flexors and quads. Thanks. See you next time.